Hello everyone, welcome to this real quick video about FIFA 21 sliders. As you probably all know, the best realistic sliders that you can probably find are the Operation Sports sliders or the OS sliders. I've been using them for a couple of years, but I've always done some adjustments to them. So I thought I could share them with you and see what do you think. I'll be updating them as other game updates are going to be coming out, so make sure to come back and check out what changed. I'm gonna go one by one through the things that I have changed. I'm not gonna be really talking about the stuff that is the same. So let's look at what are the original OS sliders. We are currently on the pretty much almost a month old release right now. There might be an update, but I have not noticed from the gameplay anything going wrong. I'm going off of the ultimate version because I'm currently playing on ultimate, but there is not that many differences if you look at the other settings. So let's start from the first. I should say that the adjustments are mostly meant to make the game a little more dynamic, because the Operation Support sliders are a little more tailored by watching AI play itself, or just like watching the AI and trying to make it look like it is an actual game. I'm just trying to make it a little more fun to play, basically. Not totally. But so the main change right here is the sprint speed is from 20 for both to 35 for both the user and the CPU. So like I said, that's pretty much mostly to make the game a little more dynamic. Acceleration is the same for both. You can put the CPU acceleration to 51 if you want to make it a little bit harder, or even 52, and to make the AI maybe press a little bit more. That's how it worked in FIFA 22. The shot error, I have 1 and here a 3 ratings higher because I'm playing currently carry mode with League 2 team, and it really feels that that either goalkeepers are too bad, or my players are too good sometimes, or the opposition players are too good. So I feel like you can go as far as 70 shot error here and 74, but it's always ideal to look at the percentage of accurate shots and goals to the total shots, and to change it based on that. As for pass error, I believe there's no changes there. Yes, shot speed as well. I really like the shot speed, even from last year. Pass speed I upped to 45 for both the user and the CPU, again to make it a little bit more fluid. And I think this is the ideal sort of balance compared to what the actual sliders are focused on. Injury severity and frequency. Here I went for the different numbers, a lot different numbers that are in here. You can see we had 90 and 40, and it is basically because, again, I think the sliders aren't really tested throughout the whole, let's say, career mode year. So in the whole career mode series, you cannot really afford to have 90 injuries, you can see. So I've taken these numbers from someone in the OS sliders comments. There's a lot of comments, so I couldn't find it again. But it's been tested on previous year of FIFA and this year of FIFA, and so far playing with them, they've been pretty good. I've had 1 3-month injury, I think, and a lot of several 5-day injuries. So it's been pretty good. Goalkeeper ability 45 again for both. I just feel like the 42 goalkeeper ability is just too low. for me. I've always been someone who had goalkeeper ability either the 49, I think it was in FIFA 20, or like a little above 50. So like having it on 42, it just makes the keepers a little too slow and just letting in even more goals. So I think 45 is ideal. Marking hasn't changed. This is very important for, again, what the sliders are trying to do. So marking and frequency is what I've changed. This is again more important to what I'm trying to do with the sliders. So run frequency to 2 compared to 0, and that is pretty much all you need in terms of runs in your team. Because if you're on 0, you can notice that like a lot of the times, let's say you play on counter attack, you're trying to actually attack and with your team, but you don't get any runs from your teammates. So I've basically just tried to up it by 1, by 2 to see where I am okay with the number of runs from my wings, my striker. You could potentially up it to like 3, but the higher you up it, the more you are impacting your midfielders, let's say, and the players you don't want to run, they're gonna run more. So I would advise to be very careful with this, but again, it's 2 for both. You could make it in theory higher for the AI if you want to make it harder. Line height and line length has no change. Again, this is important for the O sliders, as well as the line width for both. And there we go to the first touch control. There for the CPU, it is the same. It is 90. For the user, I have went for 87 because I just think, looking at the gameplay, it is too easy to have 70 for first touch control, because I don't really know what was the actual decision making there. Changing the 70 for user on ultimate compared to 90 on what's a legendary and lower, because you still, the first touch control is still very, very good, and in this game in general, because of the close control thingies that they added this this year. So it's a little too OP, and the only reason I didn't put it to 90 is because I'm playing in a League 2, and therefore the players are pretty bad. So I feel like 87 gave me enough of an edge compared to the CPU, and still made it not OP. So I think this is a pretty good balance. So yeah, this is it. One thing I could mention here in the control settings that you probably don't look at usually, but I would say important thing here is the legacy defending, because if you are on tactical, it makes it quite hard to defend, and with the way that the center defenders are, center midfielders are not coming back, the defensive midfielders are not really coming back. Not only it gives you more buttons to press to get your defense in some sort of form and like to press better, but also I feel like whenever I've switched back to tactical, it just made my defense much less compact, and players would be like being dragged out of position. I would have constantly runners in middle of my defense unmarked. So real legacy is the way to go here. I think other than that, it's your choice. Okay, so this has been the improved, modified OS sliders. Let me know in the comments if they work for you or what have you changed, and I will see you in another video.